Hey, what's up? I wanted to make this video and talk about lead generation. If you know me, you know me. If you don't know me, my name is Mahanri. I'm a digital marketing expert and a multimedia expert. So I make content, videos, and stuff. All of that is just marketing to generate business and sales and generate customers for businesses, big and small. And I do this for myself as well. So I just kind of want to share information and I hope you find this helpful. If you do, hey, go share it with somebody else. But today I'm going to talk about lead generation. In the last 7 days, I've generated over 100 leads, and my campaign is working amazing. And I also do this for other businesses and other people who are trying to generate business for themselves. So I can only share what I do because that's other people's intellectual property, but I can definitely share with you what I've done. And so hopefully you find this helpful. So the first thing that I want to talk about is why lead generation is important. Well, lead generation is important because that's the digital infrastructure of your business. This is data and information that we can then look at and we can say, okay, these are the people that are buying from us. These are people that is our customer base. We can then use this to create compelling offers for those specific people. The mistake that most business owners make is that they make content and they post it on social media, and everybody's following them is either people who are friends, family, or other people who are in the similar space that is not their potential customer, and they think that that is their potential customer. But in reality, the data is going to tell you what kind of content you should be making, who you should be speaking to, and how you should be speaking to them, and how you should be creating offers for them. All right, so don't fall into that pit trap, that pitfall, should I say, where you're making content for people who are following you on social media, but in reality, it's not even the customer base that's following you on social media, but it's just people who just know you. Okay, so it's important to identify your audience. So that's what I want to talk about next, which is understanding our audience. By using the data and information of these leads, by knowing who we want to speak to, we can then target these people on these social media platforms, which makes it easier for us to scale and generate as much leads as possible into a business and create those relationships with those people. All right. If I understand my market, for example, I make music, I do fitness, and then I also do digital marketing, right? So these are three different audiences. I cannot have a generalized offer for these people if they're just getting to know me. For example, if somebody is in the digital marketing space, there's so many things, right? There's people who are just starting an online business. There's people who are just running their first campaign. There's people who are just getting into content creation, right? So I want to find something that's specific in that audience, that is an offer that is going to attract the right customer to me. So if I'm in the marketing space and I want to get people who are just about to start making content, then I need to make content exactly regarding that, right? That's how I generate people into my business, and that's how I can start building those relationships. And then I can do the LTV, which is the value ladder of my business, right? So I have to know who my audience is and the ideal profile of that customer, right? We can use that through analytics, data, and information that we've already gathered from people who are currently buying from us or from the lead generation campaigns, right? Now, how do we generate leads? Well, you can do the traditional way, which is what most people do, which is cold calling, which I wouldn't recommend because you're going to bother a lot of people and you're going to just waste a lot of time. Cold calling, cold DMing or cold messaging, cold emailing, which I would say is just old school, and it would work, but it just takes a lot of time. I just don't want to waste my time talking to people who are really not interested in what I have to offer. All right. And the other way would be creating content, right? And hoping that the algorithm, right, by some miracle, the algorithm guys are going to go and put it in front of people who are interested in what you have to offer and what you have to say. And hopefully they're going to go through your funnels. They're going to go and click on the link on your site. They're going to reach out to you, which is never going to happen. Or very rarely is it going to happen that somebody's just going to run across your content and boom, hey, I'm convinced, I'm in. Where do I sign? Where do I buy? It just doesn't happen, but most people think that it does. So they keep posting content, and nothing ever happens. We do want to have some sort of control or some sort of ability to guide the customer from, you just met me, you're in my world. Here's the information that you need to know about me. And hey, now let's do business together. Hey, now you're my customer, right? So the best way that I have found to generate leads on a consistent basis, where I can definitely look at how much I'm spending or how much I'm spending time and money to generate a lead, and the return on investment of that, of my time and my money, is through digital marketing or advertising on social media platforms, right? You can do that on TikTok, you can do it on Snapchat, you can do it on YouTube, you can do it on Google, you can do it on Facebook and Instagram, which is my favorite platforms, because Facebook and Instagram is just instant is fast, and they do have a lot of tools that you can use. We always have access to the tools, but most times we don't know how to use them. Okay. So you do want to have your Facebook business manager set up, and you do want to choose the right objective when you're using these platforms. Facebook and Instagram ad placements, they function simultaneously. So you can run Facebook and Instagram at the same time, and you can generate leads from both places. And that's exactly what I do. And you do need to optimize these for mobile, or mobile, should I say. All right, so you do need to optimize it for it. Now, it sounds very easy. It sounds very simple, right? Okay, well, this guy's just running Facebook ads and Instagram ads, and that's just what I need to do. Yes, it is what you need to do. And yes, you could probably go and do it on your own, but I'm a digital marketing expert. So my cost per acquisition is going to be a lot lower than what probably you're going to do the first time around. I can tell you this from experience, because I remember the first time I started running marketing on Facebook and trying to figure this stuff out, I was spending a lot of money, and I converted zero leads. I converted none of them. Like, I would just run the campaign, and it just seemed like it was working, and then it just wasn't working at all. It wasn't high quality leads. It wasn't people who were actually interested in my stuff. I would reach out to them, and they just didn't know who the heck I was. So it does take some sort of experience, and it does take somebody who knows what they're doing to set it up correctly, because there are different options, and there are different ways and strategies to do this. So in that way, you're getting the most bang for your buck, and obviously optimizing it so your cost per acquisition or per new lead or customer is significantly lower. Right? I've been able to get leads uh, down to like 89 cents, right? 89 cents per person to sign up with me. And then I'm, selling a product that's like $100 plus. That's a huge return on investment. So let's go into the next one. So one of the most important things when generating leads is going to be your creative. Most people only see the 10% of a business. They only see the top percent of the business, which is the creative, right? They see the content that they're making, they see the websites and stuff like that, but they don't see that most of it is happening on the back end, which is, hey, I might be creating content, but who is seeing my content, right? If I am creating content and it's going directly back into people who are on a specific part of my marketing funnel, then obviously it's going to get a lot of engagement. It's going to get a lot of people to like, to share, to this and that, right? Most people make content, they put it out there, and they forget that the content is supposed to be an asset for you to then continue to push that journey for that customer down your pipeline. Okay, so you have to create ad creative that is tailored to every single specific section of your marketing funnel. You need to have content at the top, which is capturing people's attention, to then bring them into your marketing funnel, and then additional content to educate that customer, so in that way they have an ability to convert with you, or book that call with you, or have you as a coach or your mentor, or whatever it is that you're offering to them. Okay, so when you're generating leads at the very top, you need to start thinking about, what's my ideal customer? What is something that I can offer to somebody who's barely getting into knowing who I am as a person, or maybe having a little bit of interest? How can I do that with my content? Okay, so for example, if I'm doing that for my music, right? Like, because I make music, I'm not gonna go in there and I'm not gonna tell a person like, hey, come into my world, give me your information and everything, and that's it. Like, that's not a good offer. But what I can do is like, hey, here's a piece of content that's going to introduce you to me. But then once you're introduced to me, you're going to then have a follow up with, hey, here's more music, or hey, here's more content of mine. And that's going to push that relationship further down my marketing funnel. So then ultimately I can retarget this person. I can say, hey, how about we exchange information so that you can get exclusive content? Okay, all of that is happening behind closed doors. That is all happening where people cannot really see with their physical eyes. It's all happening on the back end of these platforms. So if you're a service-based business, say you're a real estate agent, maybe you can create a piece of content that it's like, I can show you the 10 different ways that you can get a lower rate to get a house, right? And that person might be so intrigued that they might exchange information. They might sign up for a free consultation. So then now you can create additional content to build that relationship. And then you can push it down further down your marketing funnel. So in that way, eventually they can convert and work with you. So you have to create ad creative that actually converts people. So when you're doing marketing on these platforms, you have to think about your visual, you have to think about your headline, you have to think about your copy, and you have to think about your call to action. Your visual is probably the most important thing because that's what's going to capture people's attention. If you don't capture people's attention the first 3 seconds, you're basically screwed. They're not going to read your headline, they're not going to read your copy, and they're definitely not going to go and convert to get more information from you. Okay, so your visual is very important. All right, there's a guy by the name of Russell Bronson. I like what he said. He says it's hook, story, or offer. If you're running marketing and you're not getting anybody to click on your stuff, then it probably means that either your visual is not good, your story, or your offer is wrong. If anything is not converting, it's either the hook, story, or offer. Okay. So anytime you're running content and you're not getting engagement, you're not getting conversions, hook, story, or offer, which is the one that we need to optimize. This is why it's called data science. We have to look at the data and see, are we getting clicks? Are we getting engagement? If we are getting clicks, how many conversions are coming from those clicks? Right? So that's all the stuff that I specialize in and how I help people. All right. So some of the effective creatives that I've used is something that's very eye catching, right? A creative that's very eye catching. It doesn't have to be complex. You know, you can build that on Adobe. You can build that on your phone. Like, it doesn't have to be very complex. It just has to capture people's attention. And then you always want to do the ad copy. The ad copy is always going to describe exactly why people should care about what you offer. I'm just very good at that. I'm very good at creating content that captures people's attention. And I'm very good at telling a story. So then it gets people to actually convert and build a relationship with me. All right. So when you are looking at ad copy, headline, the hook, story, the offer, you also think about what is your offer, which is what we call the lead magnet. What's going to get people to magnetize or come to you. All right. So instead of going to them and cold calling and all this and that, you have to have something that it's a compelling offer. Dan Kennedy, the one of the greatest marketers of all time, I would say, he says, create offers so good people feel stupid saying no. So that's what I do. I create offers so good that people feel stupid saying no. I need to create offers so good that make people feel stupid saying no, because then they're like, well, why wouldn't I do that, right? For example, if I'm talking to a person and then I'm telling them like, this is what I can offer you, this, and this, and then I'm like, what do you think this is worth? And then they're like, oh, that sounds like it's a couple $1,000s. I'm like, well, here's the good news. The good news is that it's actually not that price point. It's actually this price point. They feel stupid if they were to say no to it because they know that everything that I'm offering them is of great value, right? So they want to opt in as quickly as possible. So it's the same thing when you're generating leads. You have to create an offer very good that people are just going to feel dumb not wanting to opt into whatever it is that you're offering. So that's why I say I'm good at creating copy. I'm good at creating ads. I'm good at creating the campaigns. But on top of that, my offers are very good, and that's why I'm always good at generating high quality leads, and a lot of these leads in a short amount of time. Okay, so if you're not generating leads, it's going to be the hook, story, or offer. Okay, so right now we're talking about that offer. What can you offer your audience? What can you as a business owner offer your audience? Think about what business you're in, what industry you're in. Think about what you are ultimately offering, and what can you offer people that they would feel stupid saying no to. Okay. You also have to look at what your competitors are offering, because if your competitors are offering the exact same thing you're offering, then that means that your offer is not that good. It's not special. You have to make an offer that's very, very special, very, very compelling, that people are just going to say, this offer is just crazy good. I can't miss up on this opportunity, because then that creates a lot of word of mouth. Because if they get a lot of value from that, what's going to happen? They're going to go and tell the other person, hey, this right now is at a very low price point, or is for free, or whatever. You better opt in before this offer goes away. Okay, so you want to create a little bit of scarcity, but you also want to give people immense value. Alex Hermosi always talks about this. He says the best way to generate business is to give everything for free. Give everything for free. Right now, I'm giving you a lot of free information because I know that the stuff that I'm offering, the stuff that I'm talking about, is of a lot of value. So what is that going to do? is going to create a lot of relationship between you and I, which potentially can help you make more money, and then potentially make us make money together and work together. So you want to offer a lot of things to people. You want to be a person of service as much as possible. All right. Some lead magnets that have worked for me has been videos like, hey, opt in, and you can watch this video that's going to tell you exactly how to do this, this, and this, and this. And you have to make sure that you're actually giving people what you're offering. Some people just kind of hold back and like, I'm going to give you a little bit of information, but not everything, because I don't want you to have all the information and start gatekeeping. If you do that, your audience base is going to sense that from you, and then they're just not going to trust you. You have to build trust in order for somebody to actually want to exchange money with you or information with you. All right. So create stuff like that. Like, I either do some free guides, or I do some free lessons, or I do some webinars, some online webinars. Like, people just opt into that kind of stuff. Or what I do too is like, I just offer my core offer at a reduced rate, and people will opt in for that. Right. One thing that Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram have is like a lead form. So you can definitely do that. What I choose to do is I always integrate my leads into my CRM, because I want people to be on a platform where I can, talk to them a little bit more, right? So I can either reach out to them through email or through my content, or I can reach out to them through like my cell phone and stuff like that. So I integrate into my CRM. You can always use the lead forms. Now that kind of brings us to the last two things, which is generating retargeting strategies. Okay. So once you have everything set up on Facebook and Instagram, these people who've engaged with your content or your ads and stuff like that, you can retarget them. So you can go into the audience section of Facebook and Instagram, and then you can then run retargeting campaigns. Retargeting campaigns are very, very, very cheap and very, very affordable. I've reached thousands of people, hundreds of people, just with a single dollar a day. Why would I not want to spend a dollar? Not even spend, but invest a dollar to create relationships with people. That's what I mean. When you're making content, you have to think about what this piece of content is meant for. Is this piece of content just meant just to have it out there, or is this piece of content actually retargeting these people and talking to these people specifically? That's what I focus on. I want to make content specific for these people in this marketing funnel to build a relationship with them. And that's how you kind of have to think about your content. You have to think about, am I retargeting my leads? Am I retargeting, excuse me, am I retargeting my leads? Am I retargeting my current customer base? Like, who am I retargeting? Who am I talking to? That's a big thing that business owners fall into, which is they're just making generalized content and is not speaking to the customer base. All right. And then the last thing is going to be that I want to talk about is tracking and analyzing results. Right. Me, myself, as a digital marketer, I can go in there and I can look at why your ads are not performing, which means I look at the data, I look at the information. Okay, we're getting engagement, people are watching the video, but why are people not opting in for the offer? Hook, story, offer. Okay, so now let's test this. Let's run this again. Okay, now it seems like people are engaging, they are clicking through, but out of all those clicks, nobody's converting. Why? It could probably be the headline. It could probably be the copy. It could probably be the offer is not good enough. So what I do, I optimize it. I look at all that data and information, and we use this data and information, and eventually when we get people to convert, we can then retarget these people and build a bigger foundation and relationship with these people to build trust, so in that way they can become your customers. So I know it's a lot of information. This video is a little bit long, but I do think that this can kind of get the ball rolling for you and kind of get you thinking a little bit about what kind of strategies and what things that I can do. Now, if you need help with creating some strategies and running marketing on Facebook and Instagram to generate leads for your business, and you see it as a viable option for you and something that you want to invest in, so that way you can start generating leads and stop cold calling and stop emailing people that you don't know and stop figuring out where your next lead is going to come from. If you want leads on a more consistent basis, I'm here to help. And like I said, if you know me, you know me. If you don't, my name is Mahanri Tovar. I'm a digital marketing expert, multimedia expert, and I'm here to help you any way that I can. So if you find this information helpful, share it with somebody else. You can always rewatch it, and then just DM me, call me, text me, send me an email, and I'm here to help. See you in the next video. Peace.